bad for dropping off this.
Yeah, let's get, I don't think we're centered very good. Alright.
Well, you just need as much room to. Yeah.
What's this thing back here? Can it be moving? Oh, was you wanting to check this?
Oh, yeah. Be easier to do now.
Yeah, that won't come out?
Yeah, that's the.
Is it torqued or anything?
Probably.
Well, you don't remember?
I didn't put it on. They put it on at the machine shop. Okay, right here, what we're trying to do is the balancer came with 3 sets of marks for your timing, and we were just making sure we had the right ones. We wanted to mark it before we put it in, so when we went to time it and all that, it'd be good. Finally got the motor in yesterday. Been working on getting all the front accessories back on. Of course, in the time that this has been out of the engine or car, I found some hardware missing, so I'll have to go to the hardware store tomorrow and get some stuff. But we're slowly piecing away at it. Won't be long now, hopefully. It's like middle of October and 90 degrees, so I think I've about had enough for the day. But plan on working on it a little every night during the week this week. Maybe not by next weekend, it'll be ready to fire up. All right, been working on the car. Totally forgot to film. Can't even remember where my last video was, but I've got some of the wiring on, got the injectors in, all the front accessories on, heater hoses. So now I'm working on getting all my vacuum line and stuff switched over from my old intake to this new one. Looking pretty good, but got this new AccuFab throttle body. It's pretty sweet, but it doesn't come with any hardware or anything, so I'm trying to clean up my original studs that held the throttle body and the spacer and all on. They're not too bad. Got a couple of them that are pretty crusty though, so they're going to go into the wire wheel here. See if I can't get them cleaned up and put some anti-seize on them. Maybe that'll keep them from rusting. But that's where I'm at. We're creeping up on it. Hopefully, when I get into the wiring and stuff for the mass air conversion, I'll take more video of that, because that's something I've never done. And I mean, this is just basically plugging stuff back in right now and hooking stuff back up. It's really not all exciting, but I do need to clean this up. This is the original AC compressor. God bless its heart, but it's not looking the best. Tonight's progress. Got the mass airflow tube on. Got the radiator and brand new radiator hoses on. Fan rewired. Fans, I guess I should say. So we're getting real close. Be adding fluids, topping those off. Need to put the distributor in and prime it. Still have to put the O2 sensor harness in, bolt it. Some grounds I got to bolt to the back of the head. Should have probably put that on before I put the motor in. Would have been a hell of a lot easier, but here we are. Wasn't real impressed with this cold air fender well kit I got from LMR. It's their like store brand or whatever, but it just didn't fit very good. It showed up, came out of the box with some scratches on it. I don't know if it had been prior tried out by somebody or what, but, and then my throttle body is a 75 millimeter, which might be overkill. I don't know. I might order the wrong thing there, but their little tube wouldn't fit, so I had to get online and order this 3 to 3.5 inch coupler. And you've got to really like, maybe that's just how they are. I don't know. I've never had a cold air kit on a Foxbody, but Just seems like it's at a weird angle. I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Did break my fancy T-Bird puddle lights, whatever you want to call them, that kick on when you turn your turn signal on. I broke the top out of the, probably can't see it, but the plastic on it, it was so old and brittle, so I had to get some plastic weld, which turned out to be really good stuff. Got it patched together, got the light back in. That was probably one of the hardest things I've done on this whole job, believe it or not. Trying to like worm my arm up in that fender well and bolt all that back together. But anyway, that's tonight's progress. Working on the car today. Doing the mass air conversion. Got this is a kit through Pro-Am, who's the same manufacturer of my mass air meter. But I ended up running through that little grommet back in here, through the firewall, and I got my computer and everything out, so I'm getting ready to start in on the, I guess you got to repin some wires and splice some wires, and got this handy dandy instructions. I did go online and find a diagram of what's where, so wish me luck. I hate wiring and I hate working under a dash, so not fun. Well, I've already ran into my first confusion. So this instruction says pin 37 or 57. That's your power wire. It'll be a red wire, which this is obviously not a Mustang, it's a Thunderbird. But all I have are black wires with green stripes and black wires with yellow stripes. So I'm assuming the wiring harness is just different on these cars. It looks like a thicker gauge wire. So here's your, I think the yellow ones are the hot and the green ones are the grounds. That's what I'm gonna go with. It looks like everything else is gonna work out, so who knows. All right, I've been dreading this mass air conversion. I'm just not a wiring guy, but I think I got it. Had a little trouble here when I did my ground wire. Spliced it in spot 60 here. This little connector that's inside here that holds this pin in broke. I guess I was maybe pulling on too hard and it came out. Well, I tried to snap it back in place, wouldn't go. Shine a light down in there, it broke. So I put a little black RTV on it, trying to let that set up. Put a zip tie here to try to hold maybe with those other wires. My fear is when I go to plug the new computer in, it'll push that back and then I'll have a problem. So just have to keep an eye on that as I hook the computer up. Maybe hold tension on this wire and maybe it'll hold together, and once that RTV sets up, it won't let it back out. What else did I have problems with? Guess that was it. Soldering wasn't fun. Just not a lot of real estate to work with here, and I'm not the best at soldering anyway. So it was kind of a gobbled up mess, but I pulled on the wires and they seem to hold, so hopefully that'll be fine. So yeah, just gotta kind of tidy this up. I'm gonna let that silicone seal up. Get the computer put in. I'm not gonna like button it up yet. I'm just gonna like lay the computer on the floorboard. That way if I do have problems, I won't have to take it all back apart again. So now on to putting the gauges in. Well, I've worked for 2 nights on getting my gauges wired. And they work. Awesome. It's prime time. All right.
This fuel spout's going.
Fuel spout?
Yeah, the oil spout.
Oh. I'll burn me hitting it.
Go ahead. Yeah. Rock burner's hitting it.
Huh?
Yeah, rock burner's hitting it.
You're kidding me.
Try it again. Are we getting any juice? Fire, I mean. sit back. You would think it would be, if it was fire, it'd be popping and cracking. If we could get juice. Right. Where do we get this fancy thing?
Yeah, I'll be trying to do something.
Alright, try. You have to push.
Yeah, I think so. Wonder what.
You're on, you got hot on negative, don't you? Yeah. We'll have to edit that out.
I'm kind of worked up here. Well, I mean, I'm gonna hang that computer up.
So is this, have you used this?
Yeah, I use it on the show.
And does it, you have to power it up?
I think push that light, yeah. Push that button.
Oh, you just hold it and then that's the timing? Okay, I just want to see if it's firing.
No fire?
Nope, no fire. No fire.
What's that mean?
Is your computer saying no go?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how much the computer's controlling all of this.
Could it be?
Could be. I don't know. Take it all the way now.
It ain't even trying to do nothing.
Well, it ain't, that one ain't powerful. I'll turn that cap off.
So, can't believe that's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Basically what we're figuring out here is that, long story short, my TFI module went bad. Thing sat around for 6 or 8 months with no motor in it, and I guess during that time I don't know what happened, but it just decided to bite the big one. So I went to Napa the next day and got a brand new TFI module put in it and ended up firing right up. Then we had issues with it ran, but it ran real rich and wouldn't idle right. It was rich enough it would actually burn your eyes. So I ended up messing around and pushing on the mass air wiring harness, and it wasn't seated all the way. So once I did that, it ran great. Oh yeah.
Finally got it running.
Okay, the car is running. Had a little bit of an issue. Had it running, kind of wasn't paying attention like I should. And it got warm enough where the fan should have kicked on. I didn't pay attention. The electric fans never did work. There's a inline fuse here that was, it looked cracked, like maybe smashed. I don't know if something, while we were putting the motor back in, it got pinched, smashed. And then I couldn't get the relay to work, so I ended up taking it to the bench and it started working. I don't know, probably need to get a new one of those. But it's running. This is gonna be on YouTube, buddy. What do you think? So, getting up to 10 finally.
Sounds good. Alright, so I'm a moron. Had the car running yesterday and it ran like crap. Finally I pulled the codes and it was code 66. Mass airflow sensor, low voltage or something. So I've been out here checking all my connections on my, where I tapped into the harness and repin and all that. So then I come up here to my mass airflow sensor and I thought I had this plugged in all the way and I pushed on it really hard and it went ahead and snapped in. So it wasn't even hooked up. So I feel like a real dumbass right now. And it's idling better, it's not running real rich. I lost some sleep over this last night.
Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully the next video will be getting the hood back on. Still have to adjust the clutch. And then maybe have some video of actually running and driving and get some miles on before winter hits.